Fam, the world has never been more connected, yet people have never felt more spiritually homeless. Dr. John Vervaeke out of the University of Toronto calls it domicide, right? It's like homicide, but from your domicile. There's this cosmic death of the home. Social media promised intimacy, but often delivered performance, right? Institutions, politics, religion, even romance are all kind of losing the unquestioned authority that they held for generations. And we're beginning to trust our feelings more than traditions. And into that atmosphere steps Hozier. And he wasn't writing worship music. This is one of the things that kind of confused me the first time I covered Hozier on this channel. I think it might have been Take Me to Church, right? It seems worshipy, but he wasn't writing anti-religious music either. He was reaching kind of back into the old stories that humanity has, like the garden, the serpent, exile, innocence, not to preach, but to ask why those stories kind of still haunt us. Because maybe the deepest battles aren't between good people and bad people, but between the part of us that longs for paradise and the part that can never stop reaching for what isn't ours. So the world ego, which we always talk about on these intros, right? Where's the world ego at? It had become convinced that freedom means satisfying every desire. And we still have remnants of that, even though we're kind of learning. But every civilization eventually discovers the same thing. Desire can liberate you, or it can quietly become the thing that leads you out of Eden. And that's the world that this song enters, right? This is now, I'm about to show you my first reaction. This is my post-reaction intro. Family, let's let him cook. I know I paused it way too early, but for those of you who have married your best friend, right? Like my wife is my best friend, and when she, there's something tragic about you, I immediately felt it. And let me let you know what I mean. The tragic thing about the person that you love is that you never ever truly figured them out, right? Their mystery, the depth is just beyond knowing. I mean, human beings are the most complicated entities in the known universe. Right? We are very, very complicated. There's some regularities, but I mean, the deeper you get to know a person, the more you wish you could know them better, and the more that's kind of evasive as they grow and have experiences and interact with things they never have before. There's something tragic about you. I love it. Something so magic about you. Talk about it, baby. Don't you agree? Instead, no time for me. Honey, you're familiar, like my mirror years ago. Idealism sits in prison, chivalry fell on its soul. Innocence died screaming, heard they ask me, I should know. I slid that. Bro, he went and robbed that store. I gotta go back a couple bars. I'm trying to listen to the lyrics and I'm forgetting like he's robbing a bank or store. says, baby, you're familiar like my mirror long ago. And he's like, you remind me of how I used to be. Kind of that naivety. He was talking about that too. And he's like, my whiskey neat, my coffee black, and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. That song will always be stuck in my head. And I'm not mad at it at all. But talking about, the naive nature of the beloved, someone who hasn't lost their faith in the world, like he claims to have in several songs. Innocence dies screaming.
Babe, there's something wretched about this, something so precious about this. Where to begin?
Do you hear all of the contradictions? Hozier loves to use those, right? There's something wretched about this and precious about this, right? What is simultaneously wretched and precious, right? It's almost like bittersweet, It's like a contradiction in terms. Something bittersweet. So when I think about my daughter and how she keeps getting older, and every phase of life that I experience, it's fleeting, right? She's no longer the little girl who I remember, and yet who she's becoming is amazing. Right? And there's something wretched about it, but there's also something precious about it. It's wretched because it's constantly leaving. It's constantly developing, constantly leaving you behind, but also, drawing you in.
About this. Where to begin?
Where to begin?
Babe, there's something broken about this, but I might be hoping about this. Oh, what a sin. To the Strand, a picnic planned for you and me. A rope in hand for your other man to hang from a tree. Honey, you're familiar.
Guys, I might have missed that.
A rope
I need to hear that bar one more. Pardon me.
picnic plan for you and me. A rope in hand for your other man to hang from a tree. Honey, you're familiar like my mirror years ago. Idealism sits in prison. Chivalry fell on his sword. Innocence died screaming. Honey, ask me, I should know. I slithered from Eden just to sit outside your door.
I slithered out from Eden just to sit outside your door. Guys, the snake in Eden represents the temptation to identify with the transient, at least from the mystic perspective, right? That's what I think the serpent in Eden represents. Give up the childlike wonder, right, for this motivation, right? It's almost like the snake is asking you to trade your present for some expectation of the future, right? Before tasting of the fruit, Eve knew about sin propositionally. She had propositional knowledge, but she didn't have participatory knowledge. They began participating in sin, being one with it at the time, which meant, looking out for number one. And so, I don't know if Hozier is saying, look, I am the one who comes into your life and changes, maybe in a negative way, the trajectory of your future. And it's very daunting. It's like these songs tend to be very dark, at least for me. Let me know if I'm getting this right. outside your door. I slithered at the meeting just to hide outside your door. Family, I had the audacity and the gall to listen to that without the lyrics pulled up. So let me read the chorus here. He says, honey, you're familiar like my mirror years ago. That's the part that I caught. Right? Essentially calling her naive, right? Saying that, anyone who kind of has a childlike wonder about the universe, or anyone who, feels that the heart of life is good, is just someone who hasn't experienced enough, as a result of putting their heart out there on their sleeve. Then he continues, idealism sits in prison, chivalry fell on its sword. Idealism is the idea that there's this flowery, picturesque view of the future, that, the idea that the heart of life is good, right? He says that sits in prison, that's behind chains. So it's not necessarily that it's dead, but it's been punished. Listen, prison is a punishment. He's saying that, I have been punished as a result of, imagining that, there's good in the heart of life. I've experienced tragedy. And he says, innocence died screaming. Honey asked me I should know. I slithered here from Eden just to hide outside your door. Now here's the tricky part of the ending there. And he says, innocence died screaming. Honey asked me I should know. My immediately, thought goes to, oh, right, he's been hurt, right? His innocence died screaming. He put his heart out there. But then he says, I slithered here from Eden just to hide outside your door. Which means maybe he's the one that caused the screaming, as opposed to kind of being the screamer. He's saying, look, I'm someone who goes from town to town burning villages down. Guys, let me know. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hype the video if that option's available. Definitely hype it if it's available there. Join me in the Patreon and leave me a message down in the comments. I'd love to correspond with you. Family, until next time we see each other, stay balanced, family.